Have you ever wondered why you were born in that particular month? I'm not just talking about the weather, the zodiac sign, or the usual celebrations. I'm talking about the spiritual essence that lingered in the air when you took your first breath. There's something ancient and mysterious about time. It's not neutral. In the Bible, time is alive. God didn't create days just to schedule appointments, but to reveal hidden patterns. Each month of the year carries a unique spiritual atmosphere, a season with its own identity, with doors that open and shadows that shift. The month you were born in might be a key to understanding your greatest gift or your greatest danger. Behind the scenes of reality, there are spiritual cycles that few perceive. The ancient Hebrews knew this. It's no coincidence that the biblical calendar is entirely different from the one we use today. For them, each month represented an invisible battle, an opportunity for consecration or collapse. Each season was marked by feasts, fasts, wars, harvests, and divine revelations. But over time, this awareness was silenced. The modern world has distanced us from the rhythm of the heavens and tethered us to the clock of men. Yet the spiritual world doesn't conform to the Gregorian calendar. It continues operating month after month within ancient cycles, whether you notice it or not. The Book of Revelation isn't just a record of future events. It's a mirror of time. It unveils the end, but it also exposes the hidden patterns already among us. And the most unsettling realization is that in each month, a specific type of temptation intensifies, as if time itself harbored hidden sins, dormant, waiting for someone vulnerable enough to awaken them. And who could be more vulnerable than someone born under that very cycle? This is the thesis few dare to explore, that the month of your birth lays bare your most intimate spiritual battle. This isn't about astrology, horoscopes, or superstition. It's about spiritual archetypes, biblical frameworks, and the invisible struggle between good and evil, shaped by time. January, for instance, is the month of promises and beginnings, but it's also the month of pride disguised as ambition. People born in January tend to carry a natural sense of leadership, but often conceal a thirst for control, an unconscious need to dominate, to command, to be the standard. January's hidden sin is pride. Not the loud arrogance, but the kind that cloaks itself in excellence, self-demand, perfectionism. It's the pride that whispers, "No one does it better than you." In Revelation, this spirit resembles what drove Lucifer to covet God's throne. It starts with a notion of merit and ends in a fall. February carries a different atmosphere. It's a shorter month, often overlooked, but spiritually it's the month of concealment. Those born in February possess a rare depth, a quiet intuition, but they also wrestle with a sense of always being out of place, as if they belong nowhere. The hidden sin here is unresolved rejection. Not the rejection endured, but the kind that's nurtured, the kind that, when unhealed, turns into isolation, cynicism, and spiritual coldness. In the context of Revelation, February represents the hearts that grow cold, the churches that lose their first love. It's the spirit of Laodicea, lukewarmness masked as independence. March brings another kind of energy. It's the month of restless waters, of transitions between seasons, of the clash between what ends and what begins. Those born in March carry sensitivity, creativity, and intensity, but they also struggle with emotional instability. March's hidden sin is doubt, the constant wavering between faith and fear, surrender and flight, courage and apathy. It's the spirit of Peter walking on water and sinking when he takes his eyes off Christ. In Revelation, this kind of spiritual oscillation is fatal. It's like the one who starts well but doesn't endure to the end. It's like the lamp that had oil but didn't keep the flame. April is the month of the battle between light and shadow. It's the month of Passover, of liberation from Egypt. but also the month of plagues, of the death of the firstborn, of judgment on Pharaoh's pride. Those born in April carry immense potential for spiritual rebirth, but they also bear a tendency to defy divine authority. The hidden sin is rebellion, not the overt kind, but the one disguised as self-righteousness, as self-justification. It's the spirit of Cain, offering God what he wants, not what was asked. In Revelation, April echoes the voice of those who reject the Lamb and choose the path of strength. It's a month of decision: cross the sea or die in the desert. May seems like a month of flowers, but spiritually, it's a month of masks. Those born in May often have charisma, beauty, emotional intelligence. They know how to adapt, how to please. But the hidden sin is hypocrisy, not out of malice, but out of fear of rejection. It's the spirit of Ananias and Sapphira, hiding the truth to maintain appearances. It's the performance that kills spiritual authenticity. In Revelation, May echoes the warning to churches that have a name of being alive, but are dead inside. The truth is, not everything that blooms has roots, and the wind of judgment comes to test what endures. June. June. The month of rising heat, long days, a sense of freedom. Those born in June tend to be expansive, creative, passionate about ideas. But the hidden sin is vanity. The unconscious desire to be admired, seen, desired. It's the spirit of Nebuchadnezzar building a statue of himself. It's the urge to use spiritual gifts as a showcase, not a sacrifice. In Revelation, June resembles the fall of Babylon. All that was splendid crumbles in an hour, and those who trusted in the beauty of their own image stand naked before the throne. And so far, we've barely begun to unpack this spiritual calendar. Because each month, each cycle, has a specific battle. This isn't some mystical superstition, but a profound biblical pattern designed by God since the days of Moses. When you ignore it, you live in the dark. But when you start to see what your month reveals, you realize your greatest spiritual struggle isn't random, it's scheduled. The enemy knows this. He doesn't waste time. He plants specific temptations in the right cycles, waiting for you to be vulnerable. He repeats strategies. But God also has an answer for every season, and your birth might have been the key to a purpose or a warning of war. July carries the silence before the storm. It's a still month when many rest, but spiritually, it's the month of distraction. Those born in July usually have a gentle, reflective, peaceful heart, but behind the serenity, the hidden sin is omission. Not out of cowardice, but self-protection. It's the spirit of Pilate washing his hands of innocent blood. It's the impulse to avoid confrontation, even when truth demands a stand. In Revelation, July ties to the lukewarmness of those neither cold nor hot, those who prefer comfortable silence to the sword of truth. And there's a moment in the end times when the heavens fall silent for half an hour. July is that omen. Time seems still, but justice approaches with steady steps. August arrives with intensity. It's the month of extremes. Those born in this period often possess an impressive willpower, a determination that seems unshakable. But the hidden sin here is wrath, a rage often justified by a sense of justice, but which, not infrequently, spirals out of control. It's the spirit of Moses smashing the tablets of the law. It's the fury that rises against injustice, but if unpurified, can become destructive, merciless, vengeful. In Revelation, August resembles the bowls of God's wrath, powerful, definitive, but too dangerous for human hands. Those who don't learn to turn their anger into intercession often end up wounding more than healing. August is the unsheathed sword, sharp but restless. September is the month of harvest, of transition toward the cycle's end. It's the month of evaluation. Those born in September tend to be analytical, discerning, organized. But the hidden sin here is judgment. Not the righteous kind, but the critical. It's the spirit of the Pharisee who looks at others with eyes of spiritual superiority. It's the urge to weigh everything, measure everything, and often forget mercy. In Revelation, September resonates with the books opened before the throne. The time when all will be judged, yes, but not by us. Those born under this month must fight the temptation to act as auditors of others' faith, because the righteous judge shares his throne with no one. October is golden on the outside, but spiritually, it's a minefield. Those born in October usually shine. They have charm, aesthetic sense, are good mediators, and seem to always maintain balance. But the hidden sin here is complacency, the tendency to please everyone, even if it means sacrificing values. It's the spirit of Herod before John the Baptist. He respects, admires, but still delivers. In Revelation, October resembles the figure of the false prophet who speaks beautifully, unites people, seduces, but leads to ruin. October is the month of commitment to the appearance of peace, even when truth bleeds in silence. November plunges into darkness. The cold deepens, the leaves fall. It's the month of introspection, of deep diving. People born in November have magnetism, emotional intensity, and a strategic mind. But the hidden sin here is manipulation. Not as pure malice, but as self-protection. It's the spirit of Jezebel, controlling to avoid being hurt, steering situations to evade vulnerability. In Revelation, November echoes the woman drunk with the blood of the saints, seated on the beast, ruling with seduction and power. It's the month of invisible games, silent schemes, toxic bonds disguised as love. Those born in this month must overcome the temptation to manipulate and relearn to trust. December is the end, but also a promise. It's the month of Jesus' birth according to Western tradition, though biblically this isn't the actual time. But spiritually, December carries the weight of closure. Those born in this month tend to be dreamers, spiritual, sensitive to the world's pain. But the hidden sin is escapism, the deep desire to flee from pain, deny reality, live in idealized worlds. It's the spirit of the disciples sleeping in Gethsemane. The soul is willing, but the flesh flees from anguish. In Revelation, December is the wait for the King's return, but many, weary of pain, choose to sleep. It's the risk of living with eyes on the sky and feet off the path. Those born in this month must watch with greater intensity, for their sensitivity, if unguarded, can turn into flight. Now that we've journeyed through all the months, an unsettling truth emerges. Every birth brings with it an invisible war. You are not what your month says, but it reveals what you must confront. Time doesn't define your identity, it unveils your battle. Some might find all this exaggerated, others feel a deep unease because they recognize themselves in the hidden sins. And that's the point. The enemy wants you to normalize your wound. He wants you to accept it as part of your way of being. But the cross of Christ didn't come to comfort us in our fall. It came to lift us from it. The beauty of all this is that God also works month by month. Each season isn't just a mirror of sin, but also a sign of grace. The same January that reveals pride also offers Christ's humility. The February of rejection also carries the Father's unconditional love. March brings doubt, but also the faith that walks on water. April shows rebellion, but also the blood that frees. May exposes hypocrisy, but also presents the truth that heals. June reveals vanity, but unveils the God who clothes us in eternal glory. July demands a stand, but offers discernment. August exposes wrath, but provides the fruit of the Spirit, self-control. September denounces judgment, but presents grace. October reveals complacency, but points to the firmness of the rock. November shows toxic control, but reveals the power to let go, to surrender. And December reminds us that even when all seems to end, there's a new beginning. Revelation, in the end, isn't about the world's end. It's about the end of lies, the end of masks, the end of hidden sin. And when the seals break, when the trumpets sound, when the heavens tear open, what will be exposed isn't just the fate of nations, but the truth of every heart. The question echoing over time is simple. Are you discerning the signs of your month? Or are you just living on autopilot, repeating cycles, being led unaware by forces far beyond the visible? Because the heavens are counting down, and time, that which you thought harmless, is carrying prophecies. Your month has a voice, a story, a warning, and perhaps a mission only you can fulfill. Time spares no one who's inattentive, and the heavens don't stay silent before ignorance. The month of your birth isn't a coincidence, it's a code, a call to inner war. Revelation won't come just for the world, it will come within you, with every choice, every cycle, every confrontation with the sin that stalked you since the cradle. But those who discern the time won't be swallowed by it. Because God didn't show you your month to accuse you, but to prepare you. The clock is ticking and judgment begins at the house of time.